Wake up, people! Strap in and brace for impact, because today we're tearing open the rotting carcass of Denel, South Africa's former pride, now a case study in how ideological vandalism and pure, unadulterated theft can dismantle a world-class institution. We're talking about the systematic gutting of a symbol of white South African engineering brilliance, the betrayal of a skilled workforce, and the billions of your taxes flushing straight down the drain. If that doesn't light a fire under you, check your pulse. Let's go. Imagine this, a country punching way above its weight, building attack helicopters that made NATO generals nod in respect, artillery systems setting global distance records, and missile tech so sharp it had international heavyweights lining up at the door. That was Denel. Born in 1992 from the ashes of apartheid's arms corps, it wasn't just a weapons factory, it was an engine of progress. It represented what South Africa could achieve when it harnessed world-class expertise honed over decades, much of it within the minority white community. Think Rooivalk choppers, G6 howitzers, Umkhonto missiles, Adata air-to-air systems. Names that commanded respect on the global stage. This wasn't just about firepower. It was about thousands of high-skilled jobs, spin-off industries in aerospace and tech, billions in potential exports, and national pride forged in innovation. Denel was proof South Africa could compete with the best. But oh, how the mighty have been deliberately laid low. Fast forward to today, June 2025, and the picture isn't just grim, it's a national disgrace dripping with the stench of corruption and ideological malpractice. Denel? It's a hollowed-out shell, a zombie corporation staggering from one taxpayer-funded bailout to the next. We're talking over 9 billion rands poured into this black hole in just the last 5 years. Let that number sink in. 9 billion rands of your money, handed over by the very same people who preach transformation while simultaneously starving out the highly skilled, predominantly white engineers, artisans, and technicians who were the actual lifeblood of this company. Where's the oversight? Where's the accountability? Vanished like competence in the boardroom. The financials are a sick joke. Denel is functionally insolvent. The Auditor General himself stood in Parliament and basically said, "This thing can't pay its bills." Liquidity? Deep in the red. They shuffled the deck chairs on the Titanic this year, moving Denel under the Ministry of Defense, a desperate, utterly meaningless bureaucratic shuffle, while the ship is actively capsizing. Remember the 6.3 billion rands Umkhonto missile deal with Egypt? Gone. Poof. Why? Because Denel, the state-owned defense company, couldn't secure a simple bank guarantee. Banks won't touch them. Why would they? They can't even reliably pay their own staff. This isn't just incompetence. It's a strategic betrayal that weakens our entire national defense posture. And then there's the Badger armored personnel carrier fiasco. 8.3 billion rands paid up front since 2007. Know how many badges our troops have received? 0. Not a single one. Meanwhile, reports filter in about South African soldiers dying in places like the DRC, under-equipped, vulnerable. That's the real, bloody human cost of this looting and mismanagement. It's not just wasted money, it's blood on the hands of the cadres and thieves who ran this place into the ground. And while Denel implodes, the looting continues unabated. Sensitive missile intellectual property? Stolen, reportedly popping up in Dubai. Critical systems failing certification, leaving our own Gripen fighter jets impotent in combat zones? Check. It's like watching vultures strip a carcass while the paramedics are still trying to perform CPR. Now, let's talk about the real heroes, or rather, the real victims in this tragedy, the skilled workforce. Specifically, the minority white engineers, artisans, and technicians who, against all odds and amidst constant scapegoating, actually tried to keep this sinking ship afloat. Picture this. From May 2020 to January 2022, these dedicated professionals worked for months without full pay. Denel Land Systems just stopped paying altogether in April 2021. Think about that. Your employer, owned by the state, simply decides not to pay you for the highly skilled, dangerous work you do, legally owed wages, defaulted on. It took the union solidarity dragging them through the courts, seizing bank accounts, to claw back a mere 90 million rands by mid-2022. A fraction of what was owed, extracted only after humiliating legal battles. And the bitter irony? While these skilled white workers were being systematically sidelined, remember those exclusionary no whites need apply training policies back in 2009 to 2010? Policies only reversed because solidarity fought like hell. The very same incompetent board and politically connected cadres depended on their dwindling expertise. Denel itself admits it cannot retain or attract skilled personnel because of its own toxic, discriminatory environment. Let that hypocrisy marinate. They vilify and dehumanize the exact people whose skills they desperately need to survive, driving them out the door while singing hymns to an empowerment that looks suspiciously like looting. The result? A catastrophic brain drain. From 15,000 highly skilled professionals at its peak, Denel is now a ghost of its former self, unable to supply its own military or reliably service its few remaining international clients, even as world-class facilities like the Overberg test range sit underutilized. This isn't just a business failure, folks. This is the calculated dismantling of merit. It's the triumph of ideology and cadre deployment over competence and national interest. It's the theft of South Africa's strategic autonomy, sold off piece by piece while the skilled minority who built it are blamed, bled dry, and forced out. The 9 billion rands and counting bailouts are just the financial symptom. The real cost is measured in shattered careers, national security compromised, and an economy robbed of a powerful engine. It's a betrayal of every South African, but it's the minority white workforce, the keepers of that hard-won expertise, who have borne the brunt of this ideological purge disguised as progress. This cannot stand. If your blood isn't boiling right now, you haven't been paying attention. The looting of Denel, the scapegoating of skilled white South Africans, the betrayal of our soldiers and our economy. It demands more than just outrage. It demands action. This channel is on the front lines, exposing this rot, fighting for accountability, and amplifying the voices of those who've been silenced, especially the minority white engineers and artisans whose skills built Denel and are now being discarded. But we can't do it alone. We need you in this fight. Join the channel to help us dig deeper and expose corruption. Your support fuels the fight for truth. One-time donations through Super Thanks power investigations and legal action, while simply letting ads play helps fund our next report. Subscribe, like, and share to push this story into the spotlight. Drop a comment. What shocked you most? Let's stay informed, stay furious, and keep fighting for the justice South Africa deserves. This isn't over. See you in the trenches. Peace.